Hello all. This is the second installment of what's in my bag. I know everybody out there has been dying to see the next in my bag. And let's, without any further ado, let's get it out. I'm going to start off with my mid-ranges. Mid-ranges, obviously, like to throw with mid-range. Start off with my overstable. The overstable stuff I'm carrying, the mace, cold line. Been throwing this thing quite a bit lately. Really love it, and it will go where you need it to go. Been playing some of the courses strictly with this disc. Then I've got his backup, Opto. Haven't thrown it yet. Gonna throw it here today. Do a little field practice with that. I'd like to mention this is where I do my field practice at, so you can see 360 degrees of go ahead and throw it. You might hit a trailer, but if you hit a trailer, then Ricky and Julian won't come out and bust your face. Let's get to my straighter mid-ranges. We've got the straighter mid-range, we've got the Claymore. Another Latitude 64, I believe, disc of the year. Threw it in the Trilogy Challenge and really enjoyed it. Stayed in my bag, couldn't wait for the Opto to come out. The Opto's just as straight, logo's kick-ass. What more can I say? This is actually my backup. Been listening a little bit to the pros and kind of trying, instead of buying different molds, just buying more of the same mold. So if anything goes away or awry or gets too understable, then you definitely have a backup, something that you can rely upon. Same disc, Claymore. This is the first one I've got. I've been throwing this. This is actually a little lighter, so that's a 180. So we'll see when we need it. It's coming up on winter, so obviously winter here it gets a little bit more windy. In Idaho, at least, it gets a little windy. So a lot of the air and lighter stuff just doesn't work in this kind of wind. So I want some stable stuff that I can lean on. Fairway driver. The one fairway driver I'm keeping right now, really kind of growing on me. Couldn't throw it really well at first, but then decided to figure out what it was actually used for. Short skippers, stuff that you just need to go around and it's going to get around. Felon, as far as off the tee, hasn't been anything like that for me, so some people may beg to differ. Another, not necessarily a fairway driver, but a mid-range driver that I've been turned on to was the Fuse deco die here from Latitude 64. I try to keep a stable, straight, and understable disc. This is the understable mid-range. Had one of these for quite a while, then decided to just leave it on the course. So just replenished with this one. It's a nice one. And then we get into straight in-your-face field drivers. Pretty much the go-to disc, the one size fits all, the one disc that I've really been clinging on to lately is the Striker. This is one that's just made it into my collection as far as Opto goes. I've been running the Gold line. The Gold line's great, but it tends to depress a little bit on the top and become a little bit more understable, which coming to that is that exact disc. The Striker from Latitude 64. This is the Eagle stamp. Had this one for a little while. Just thought it was a kind of a cool disc, so I tried it out, and it will go anywhere you want it to. This one actually will flip for me. So it's replacing things like leopards and stuff like that. So then we've got its backup, the Gold line backup. This one I just did. Actually just got done dyeing this one. My friends at Design Bandits, they came up with this logo, and I've been steadily working on trying to get them onto discs. Now, this is my first attempt at this logo. I've done a little bit of dyeing. The logo I love, it's kick-ass. I'm not really happy with how the actual dye came out, so that's on me. That's a production thing on me. So I don't know, it's a first stamp, but this is another Opto Striker. This is actually a 177, so it's really heavy. I'm going to be using it all winter long. Just trying to get the name out there. Bubblegum Disc Golf. We'll have more products coming soon. Back to the discs, the Moonshine King. Everybody needs glow-in-the-dark discs because, of course, we play disc golf at night so much. Just kidding. This is a great disc. Turn it over, it'll fly a long ways. Heavy, ready to go in the wind. Stays stays true. And then I've got his backup with tournament plastic. This is the finished stamp West Side discs. Literally bought 3 of these this summer, lost them first time I threw them, and these are the only 2 that have made it and stayed into my bag, other than a used one I dyed and sent to my buddy down in Florida. So trading him some other stuff. Then we've got stable drivers. This one's first run Air Trespass, like it, watermelon color. It's really good disc when there's not a bunch of wind out and stuff. You can really tell it where to go, right down the alley shots and stuff like that, and you're gonna finish left hard. Then we have the Air Trespass. That's the higher weighted run of the Trespass line. This one's 174. That one I think is like in the 158 range. That one's good when it's still out and stuff. But this one here, I really like to be able to just turn it over and like turn it hard, because you can turn it hard and it's going to S-curve a little bit for you, and then it is going to finish hard left. So you're going to definitely get that good finish out of that. Hard to flip. You can flip it straight into the wind, but hard to flip. A couple discs that are just making it into my bag, and I really, I've got to throw them a little bit, but this is a nice Pop Top Air Havoc. The Havoc is, I know it's a really popular disc for the Latitude 64 line. I do like to throw it. I get a little bit more of it out in the field practice when I get around the trees and stuff. Got some other ones like the Striker that I really trust, but again, trying to, maybe have one light one heavy one on a lot of this stuff, just so at certain times, when you can rip it hard, and then sometimes you just know you want it to do what it's going to do. So then, again, we've got another Havoc, Moonshine Havoc. This one, glows in the dark and stuff, because I play so much night disc golf. Again, just kidding. But yeah, honestly, a nice disc, but I'll rip it here in a second and see how nice it really is. Then we get on to something that it was in my bag before heavy. I just went with this Air one. Nice misprint. Probably end up wiping that print right off of it and dyeing it up at some point. It's a light escape. As I get better at dyeing stuff and coming up with new ideas, I want nice discs. I want discs that people want in their hands, instead of just dyeing up some crap, give them what they want, to be throwing. So, some people just like the stamp, some people don't like anything on them at all, but I think it's kind of nice to put a little some of your own flavor on it. So that's the Air Escape. I haven't thrown it much, so I'm going to get it back out in the field right now and see how it goes. Understable, mid-range, and speed 9 type stuff. The Hatchet, that's a new disc for Westside this year, 172. This has been one that, it's been good, but it's hit or miss with this one. Honestly, it's hard to really control. You don't really want to throw it into the wind at all unless you really want it to go right. It's got a -2, so sometimes it's the best throwing disc of the day. It just flies, but you don't know where it's going to go. So I don't know, trusting other discs at this point. Then we've got the Westside Underworld. This is your heavy hooker, heavy hook right. That's the one that you want to go right, stay right, and finish right. But again, it's like the Hatchet. It's hard for me to control. I don't get a consistent throw. It's only speed 7, so it's even a little slower. I don't know. I might have to work with arm speed or something. But I do like them, and I like this stamp on this one especially. So if I don't throw it, it'll end up on my wall. Then we get into a few other discs that aren't of trilogy variety, but just recently made it into my bag. This is a misprint Rampage. Found it in a used bin for $5, and found it with another one and actually traded my local guy the other one I found, to repay a debt. So like that, and he's the one that actually turned me on to him. So I just pulled them both out of a used bin at another place. So kind of keep them rolling. But this is a really fast speed 14 disc, and again, I've been able to figure this out a little bit and get quite a bit of distance at it, and putting past 200 past 300 into that 350 range, consistent with this thing. I'm not a very big arm, but I like to throw it. So then I went with the Pinnacle edition on this one. That one's Icon. This one's Pinnacle from Legacy. They're the Rampages. This is a nice sticky gummy disc. Like the feel of it. It's going to be a good winter disc, something to hold on to. We get snow here, so you get skippers and ice and still on the road and stuff like that. So really like that. Then a few staples that just can't keep out of the bag. I know Innova just released the Thunderbird. I've got one of the first releases, but doesn't come in my bag. It just stays at home on the wall. We'll save it. And we got the G-Star Thunderbird here. It's really stable, and but like again, you can lean on it a lot. It's full weight, or 171, so at least it's you know, it's something that you can play with in a little bit when your conditions. We got the big thrower, the Blizzard Vulcan. I couldn't throw the regular size one, the 175. I'd always been able to throw this, but you know, in trying to get discs, I've always tried to have one heavy, one light. So this disc right here, it launches. So on days where it's still, this is my every throw off the tee wide open disc, because it'll go and it'll finish dead straight if you know, keep it to the left or right enough. And then this one is a Blizzard Katana. Wiped it off. I do throw it. I don't know. It's maybe it's that not being able to fully let go. There's plenty of here that from the Trilogy line that I can throw, and I can throw it well. But you know, the Katana, that Vulcan, and that Thunderbird have been hard to get out of the bag. So then I've got putters. I've got 3 here that I like to use. Well, and then I've got a big heavy putter, but you know, for driving putting and stuff like that, I use the Grip Line Pure putter from Latitude 64. Grip Line's no longer made, I believe. If it is, then I'm wrong, but if not, it's a nice thrower. I really like it. It's hard enough to keep a line, and you know, it's kind of sticky, so it stays nice. And then this is another one. It's a little bit older, Pure. I don't know how old, but it's just made in 0, not medium or hard. And it's a nice one. I like this one for like stab or jump putts. You know, 33 and out. You know, probably in that 50 to 60 foot range if I can really kind of stab right at it and stuff. I like that. So that's that one. And then I've got this one I just picked up. I'm not really a big fan of soft discs, but I'm gonna see. This chained out like 3 times on me last round, but we'll see how it goes. It may stay in, it may not. Maybe a backyard putter, but the Pure is pretty, it's a nice disc. I really like it. It's going to be my #1. I've still got a bunch of Wardens at home, but I'm trying not to use them. And then turned on to the Gateway Wizard. Found a super stupid soft Gateway Wizard local bin. Love it. This one is in that inside the circle a lot of the times, where that red one just got. This is my inside the circle disc. You know, if I got a straddle, come out somewhere and float it in, like that disc. That's all I'm really carrying in my bag. I've got a few other things like my Golden Retriever, but I'm sure you don't want to see that. Bubblegum Disc Golf. It's the company I'm trying to create and trying to grow and trying to you know, make into something feasible and viable for the disc golf community. You know, got a few ideas for some other products, and you know, I like doing dyes, and I'm pretty much a hippie. So no, thank you guys for being here, and thanks for watching my stupid little video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you take some kind of insight from what I had to say about the discs. Now I'm gonna chuck them. Thanks.